12, and really some good torque on those shots, and she's turning the body.
Да, вот она отработала и создала то же самое, что и...
She isn't just another face in a highlight reel, and she isn't just another athlete whose story gets flattened into a viral clip. Viana exists at the intersection of danger and discipline, where instinct meets years of training, and where the myth of beauty as softness goes to die. One ordinary night, standing outside her own place and waiting for an Uber like anyone else, that collision becomes real. A stranger approaches, close enough to feel his intent before he speaks. He demands her phone and flashes what looks like a weapon, banking on fear, on hesitation, on the assumption that intimidation is enough. For most people, that assumption would be correct. For Viana, it's a mistake that lasts only seconds. There is no panic, no freeze. The switch flips the way it does only for people who have lived thousands of hours inside combat. A quick kick breaks rhythm. A clean takedown removes balance. Gravity does the rest. The would-be robber hits the ground not as a threat, but as a problem already being solved. For 15 long minutes, until police arrive, she holds him there, calm and controlled, his confidence stripped away far more completely than anything in his pockets ever could be. It's not flashy, it's not theatrical, it's efficient, and in that moment, the fantasy of helplessness collapses under the weight of preparation. Combat sports have always been filled with beauty. Cameras love symmetry, youth, and intensity, and promoters have never pretended otherwise. What's rarer, what unsettles people who think they know what strength looks like, is when that beauty arrives paired with real, undeniable violence. The kind that turns lights out, the kind that ends fights in seconds, the kind that doesn't ask for permission or validation. This is where the stories get interesting, where expectation and reality collide, and where a certain kind of power announces itself without apology. Dana of Seregova steps into that lineage with an almost unfair contrast. On the outside, she looks like someone who wandered into the wrong building, all softness and calm. Inside the cage, she is something else entirely. Her Bellator debut lasts 29 seconds, a blink of an eye in a sport built on endurance and attrition. There is no warm-up period, no feeling-out process. A strike lands clean and cold, and the fight is over before the crowd has fully settled into their seats. Stone-cold knockout, the kind that doesn't need replay to explain itself. Even she seems surprised by how fast it ends, the moment hanging in the air like punctuation at the end of a sentence nobody expected to be so short. Then there's the petite Japanese fighter whose frame invites underestimation before the first bell ever rings. Size has always lied in combat sports, but people keep believing it anyway. She moves with a calm assurance, as if she already knows how this will go. Her opponent struggles to find footing, to find space, to find answers. The domination becomes almost surreal, the gap in strength and control widening until it feels like cruelty to keep watching. She pours on strikes with a rhythm that suggests comfort, not desperation. And when the referee finally steps in, it feels less like an interruption and more like mercy. The angelic exterior never changes. The damage speaks for itself. When she returns for her next opponent, restraint disappears entirely. She loads up, lets her hands go, and reminds everyone that patience and mercy are choices, not limitations. Somewhere between the first exchange and the final blow, the illusion shatters completely. This is not about aesthetics or novelty. This is about skill applied without hesitation. Alicia Baumgardner enters the narrative with a different kind of presence. Flashy, confident, and armed with power that doesn't need exaggeration. She fights like someone who understands leverage, torque, and timing at a granular level. Every shot turns her body hard, hips and shoulders snapping through the strike with purpose. The body work lands first, digging and stabbing, setting traps that only become obvious when it's too late. A knockdown follows, controversy flickering for a moment as questions arise about where a punch may have landed, but the momentum never truly shifts. She scores hard and clean, stacking damage until resistance collapses. When it ends, there's no confusion about what just happened. The bomber is back. The declaration isn't marketing, it's observation. In that ring, in that moment, she proves something to herself as much as to anyone watching. The fight she wanted, the fight she believed she deserved, now feels inevitable. Becoming a champion isn't an accident here. It's a process made visible. Later, under a different set of lights and expectations, she faces Terry Harper in the very ring where Harper once claimed her title. The tension is thick before the first punch is thrown. Harper's speed and edge are discussed, weighed, debated. Bumgardner listens with her gloves up and her eyes locked in. When the opening appears, she takes it. A right hand over the top lands, and Harper is suddenly under pressure, standing almost still as follow-up shots find their mark. The referee watches closely, reading the signs that only experience teaches you to recognize. When he steps in, Harper is still on her feet, but the fight is gone. The belt is gone too, ripped away in a ring heavy with memory. Celebration erupts in one corner, while realization sets in at center ring. This is what decisive looks like. Ariane Lipski doesn't bother with subtlety. The nickname Queen of Violence isn't branding, it's a warning. Her highlights don't need explanation, because the language they speak is universal. Power matters. Heat matters. When she throws, there's intent behind every movement. A willingness to meet chaos head-on and come out smiling. She isn't crowned on looks alone, and she never pretends otherwise. In her world, the crown is earned through damage delivered and endured. Alexa Grasso carries a different contradiction, one that has followed her from the beginning. A face that could belong on a magazine cover, paired with a style that breaks opponents down piece by piece. There's nothing accidental about her success. Every exchange reveals layers of preparation, each movement refined through repetition. Watching her fight is watching someone dismantle expectations in real time, reminding everyone that aesthetics don't dictate outcome. Valerie Larita brings energy wherever she goes, long before the cage door closes. Her dances draw reactions, cameras tracking her every move, but that same electricity carries into the fight itself. Between rounds, she listens, learns, and adjusts, a lifelong student in a sport that punishes complacency. Her striking sharpens as the fight progresses, punches snapping back to guard, chin tucked, focus narrowing. When the opening comes, she takes it. A big shot lands, another follows, and suddenly the third round never arrives. The referee steps in, ending it just like that. The celebration isn't just joy, it's confirmation. Then there's Dakota Ditcheva, the breakout star whose rise feels less like a surprise and more like an announcement. She doesn't just win, she finishes. Again and again, the pattern repeats. A right hand here, a body shot there, knees that fold opponents in half. Each fight adds another exclamation point to her record. Playoff, semifinals, first round finishes, third round statements. It doesn't matter. The result is the same. Doubters quiet down. Legends watch closely. When she beckons an opponent back to their feet, only to attack immediately, it's not cruelty. It's confidence bordering on inevitability. A beautiful knee lands, trouble follows, and the fight ends. Silence gives way to recognition. Angelina arrives with that same deceptive calm. Another Russian beauty whose power feels almost unfair. One crushing body shot is all it takes. The fight ends as suddenly as it began, the crowd catching up to what their eyes have already seen. Clara Pennican's knockouts carry a similar chill. Her stare is icy, her timing precise. When the shot lands, there's no doubt. Sweetness dissolves into stillness, and the referee steps between them. Japan, it turns out, has more than one heavy hitter. No makeup, no hype, just power delivered from a frame that looks too fragile to do such damage. A monster shot lands, and recovery never comes. The first round ends early, not because of fatigue, but because reality has asserted itself. Ebony Bridges, the blonde bomber with blue eyes and a taste for the spotlight, comes forward with heat from the opening bell. Right hands snap, combinations trap opponents in corners, and pressure builds until escape is no longer possible. Even when resistance flares, she adjusts, keeps coming, and lands clean again. When it's over, protest fades quickly. The result is too clear to argue with. Across promotions, countries, and styles, the through line remains the same. These women don't borrow power from image or narrative. They generate it themselves through training, discipline, and an unshakable understanding of who they are when the moment demands it. The contrast between appearance and outcome isn't a gimmick. It's a mirror held up to assumptions people didn't realize they were making. What lingers after the highlights fade isn't just the knockouts or the viral moments. It's the recalibration, the quiet recognition that strength doesn't announce itself the way we expect, that danger doesn't always look dangerous, and that preparation turns ordinary moments into defining ones. Whether it's a would-be robber pinned to the ground outside an apartment or a championship belt changing hands under bright lights, the message is the same. Underestimate at your own risk.